Hello and welcome to another edition of News Showcase. I am Priya, Tamil Nadu's first artificial intelligence news presenter. Protesting farmers staged a nationwide shutdown while they agreed to hold more talks with the government on Sunday. Farmers' associations halted agricultural work between 6 a.m. 4 p.m. on Friday and blocked highways across the country as part of the shutdown. According to reports, about 9 prominent trade unions backed the shutdown, with a joint protest in the center of Delhi to highlight farmers' demand for legal guarantees for the minimum support price for their produce and other demands. Bus workers with the state-run transport company in Haryana also backed the shutdown. The farmers remain camped on entry points into Delhi, which have been sealed to stop them. According to sources, the outcome of the negotiations with the government will determine whether or not the farmers march into the city. The Congress party has revealed that several of its bank accounts were disabled and then activated after it appealed to the tax tribunal. The party said it was aimed at disrupting its preparations for the general elections and a blow to the democratic process. According to reports, the freeze was over a demand for 210 crore rupees in taxes raised by the tax authorities. The Congress party had said it initiated legal action against freezing of its bank accounts, which came a day after the Supreme Court struck down the electoral bonds programs. The program allows citizens to donate to political parties with bonds purchased from banks without revealing their identity. It was aimed at keeping unaccounted cash out of the political system, especially during elections. Kashmir's National Conference has clarified that the party was part of the opposition India bloc, just hours after its leader Farooq Abdullah said it would contest the upcoming general election on its own. Abdullah's son Omar Abdullah said the NC was in the midst of talks with the Congress party about ways to jointly contest the polls in the Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh regions. The Congress party is the main component of the India bloc, which is perceived to be struggling to keep its members together in the wake of growing divisions. Some parties in the group have already said they will fight independently in their respective states in the polls due by May. The White House has said that violence against anyone on the basis of their ethnicity, gender, or any other characteristic is unacceptable in the U.S. and that there is no justification for it. The response from National Security Council official John Kirby comes amid a sudden increase in attacks and deaths of Indians and Indian Americans in the United States. He said the president and his administration has been working very hard to make sure the state and local authorities thwart and disrupt those kinds of attacks. In the past several weeks, there have been reports of the deaths of at least 4 Indian American students in the U.S. The incidents have set off worries in the Indian community, and especially among parents of Indian students studying there. India's Defence Acquisition Council has approved purchases of weapons systems that mark a major shift in India's defence capabilities. The systems include heavyweight torpedoes, multi-mission maritime aircraft, air defence tactical control radars, and new anti-tank mines. The final nod, which should come from the Cabinet Committee, will greatly strengthen the capabilities of the Indian Coast Guard and the armed forces. Reports say SpiceJet and BusyBee Airways have put forward a joint bid to buy the struggling Go First airline. SpiceJet in a statement said that the bid is a significant strategic move which has the potential to reshape the landscape of the Indian aviation sector. SpiceJet said its promoter Ajay Singh submitted the proposal in his individual capacity. As per the terms of the agreement, SpiceJet will serve as the new airline's operating partner, contributing personnel, services and industry knowledge. Media reports in December said Go First owes creditors more than 6,200 crore rupees, with the Central Bank of India and Bank of Baroda being the top creditors. Due to the lengthy delays in the resolution of ongoing disputes, lenders have all but given up on Go First's comeback. An 80-year-old man died in Mumbai when he decided to walk from his plane to the airport's exit point rather than waiting for a wheelchair. The traveler, who arrived on an Air India flight from New York, had asked for assistance but was unable to obtain a wheelchair at the airport because of high demand. The airline said in a statement that the passenger's wife had been given a wheelchair and that he was asked to wait while another wheelchair was prepared by personnel. Reports said the passenger was promptly attended to by the medical service at the airport, but he was declared dead on being taken to the hospital. Pakistan's jailed former Premier Imran Khan has picked a nominee for his party in the race for the country's next Prime Minister. Omar Ayub Khan, who is facing prosecution for his role in the riots over the arrest of Imran Khan in May, will face off against Shehbaz Sharif of the Pakistan Muslim League N in the National Assembly. Sharif is the consensus candidate of Khan's rivals, the PMLN and the Pakistan People's Party. These parties picked lesser seats than supporters of Khan, who control more seats in the assembly. Ayub said, If elected as Prime Minister, releasing political prisoners will be his top priority. Pakistan voted in general elections earlier this month, and Imran Khan said the outcome of the polls was heavily rigged. The US has issued a warning that Russia may take control of a vital town in eastern Ukraine that has seen some of the bloodiest fighting in recent months. The National Security Council spokesman John Kirby stated that Avdiivka is at risk of falling into Russian control, noting the paucity of weapons in Ukraine. President of Ukraine Volodymyr Zelensky has promised to stop at nothing to save as many Ukrainian lives as possible as Russian forces closed in on the town. The devastated area is thought to be a gateway to the nearby city of Donetsk, which was annexed by Moscow in 2014 after being taken over by militants backed by Russia. Later this month, Ukraine will mark the second anniversary of Russia's invasion of the country. The US has stated that Russia is creating a troubling new anti-satellite weapon, but emphasized that Moscow has not yet deployed it. The remarks were delivered by a White House spokesman a day after a senior House Republican issued cryptic concerns about a serious national security threat. According to reports in the Western media, the weapon is space-based and equipped with a nuclear bomb to target satellites, but the spokesman declined to corroborate this or provide specifics of the threat. Moscow responded saying the US allegations were a smokescreen to get Congress to approve more aid for Ukraine. Military analysts have long cautioned that in a world where technology is becoming more and more important, space will probably be the next theater of conflict. The Israeli military claims to have apprehended dozens of terror suspects after forcing staff and patients to evacuate the main hospital in southern Gaza. Israel said it carried out a precise and limited mission at Nasser Hospital in Khan Yunis, and it had intel that Hamas had taken prisoners there. The claim was rejected by Hamas as lies. According to the UN Humanitarian Office, the lives of medical professionals, patients, and displaced persons may be in danger due to reports of sniper fire at the facility. The medical non-profit Medicine Sans Frontières said those instructed to evacuate were confronted with the difficult decision to stay and become a potential target or flee into a landscape of bombings. Reports say Donald Trump's civil fraud trial is scheduled to conclude shortly, and the outcome could have a significant impact on the family business. The former U.S. president has previously been found guilty of falsely inflating the worth of assets in statements to lenders, as have his adult sons and the corporation bearing his name. The judge has been requested by the prosecution to punish Trump with $370 million payments and impose limitations on his capacity to do business in the state. Even for a billionaire, that is a substantial sum of money, and legal experts warned that such a big fine might deal a devastating blow to Trump's finances, especially on his real estate enterprise. Greece has become the first nation with a mostly Christian Orthodox population to approve same-sex marriage. Following a 176-76 vote in parliament, same-sex couples will now be able to lawfully adopt children. A simple majority was required for the law to be approved by the 300-member parliament. Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis declared that the new law would boldly abolish a serious inequality. Greece was out of step with its European neighbors up to this point on this topic, mostly due to opposition from the church. The vote has caused division in the nation due to strong opposition from the influential Orthodox Church, and its supporters staged a protest demonstration. In Syntagma Square, many held crosses, carried banners, recited prayers, and sang Bible passages. The leader of the Orthodox Church said that the proposal would corrupt the homeland's social cohesion. A report said a remote well in Kazakhstan has been the site of the worst methane leak ever detected, and it lasted for 6 months last year. It said a blowout caused a fire that burned and released an estimated 127,000 tons of gas into the atmosphere. The greenhouse gas methane is far more powerful than carbon dioxide. The well's owner, Buzachi Neft, disputed the report that a substantial amount of methane was released. An expert with the UN said the environmental impact of such a leak is equivalent to driving more than 700,000 gasoline-powered cars for a year. The report said the leak was brought under control last December, and efforts are on to seal the well with cement. Thank you for watching. I am Priya, Tamil Nadu's first artificial intelligence news presenter. Do tune in, same time tomorrow, for a roundup of the latest news and updates in India and around the world.